episode 10 of the Business and Leadership Stories with Sachin Bhandary from the Storyco and yours truly, Hrishi K. Well, the Storyco is helping companies, startups, and professionals break the culture of MBA speak, use the power of stories to achieve their business goals with speed and ease, and they do this via coaching, consulting, and training. Sachin gives us one important business story every single week, and then he also gives us the fruits of our labor. You listen to that story, you find out what business and leadership tip will take you skyward. How are you, my friend?
Very good, Rishi. Very good. I hope you're good too.
I'm good. Barack Obama, what a legend. I mean, you look at the incumbent of that particular seat, the US president's seat, immediately after his tenure was over, and you realize his value even more.
Yeah, true.
And you feel Obama's lesson for founders and leaders is something that we can all learn from. So let's have the story first.
This is a very fascinating anecdote, Rishi. So, much like, Barack Obama was probably leader of the free world at one point in time, but he, much like most of us, had to follow his better half's commands and her decisions in many cases. And so there was this. So when Barack Obama decided to run for president, right, and put in his nominee for the Democratic Party, Michelle wasn't very happy with it because he had had a long and checkered political journey, and she felt that it hadn't given him the kind of results they were supposed to, and it was also taking a toll on their family life, and that's why she wasn't very kicked about the idea that he would try to run for president. So she was pretty much aloof when he was trying to get the nominee for the Democratic Party. And in his book, The Promised Land, he narrates the story of a time when they were about to go to Hawaii. So they take a vacation to Hawaii because that's where Barack Obama's family stays every year before around Christmas. And right before Christmas, the team was having a meeting where they were presenting the campaign plan and, what are our chances, what is going to work, what is not going to work before they come back from the, after they come back from the holidays. Now, everything was all right, but everybody knew that there was an awkward tension in the room because Michelle was also a part of that meeting because she was an important stakeholder as well. So once all of the presentations happened, there was silence in the room. Michelle broke the silence and she asked, so why, Barack, why should you be the president? Barack Obama took a few seconds. I think he probably composed himself and he gave a very interesting answer. And that answer is that, I don't know if this will come to pass and whether I will become the president. But if I do, Michelle, and when I raise my right hand to take the oath for the presidency, I know that it will change a lot of things for people around the world, but especially kids in our country, black kids, Hispanic kids, kids who come from different backgrounds and are lesser privileged, because it will broaden the horizon for all of them. And, they will be able to see a different reality for themselves if I become president. And if we are not able to achieve anything else, but if we are able to do this for this alone, I think that it is a good idea for someone like me to become the president. Now, Michelle took a few seconds to respond, and nobody knew what she was going to say. But, to everybody's pleasant surprise or relief, rather, I would say she said that, well, honey, that's a very good answer. You should go ahead and become the next president of the United States.
He has his wife's vote.
Yeah, of
the
course,
other,
the most
the other
important vote.
votes will come. The other votes will
Yes.
come. That's a lovely gem of a story. What is the business leadership and communication tip that we can learn from that story?
Yes, Rishi, I think a very, very important one. And I think especially people who are leading teams, leading companies, any sort of a leader whose communication is consequential for his team or company. A lot of times leaders have to sell the future, right? We have to showcase people, okay, today we are going to, you come in from 9 to 5, but we are going to change that from, 1 to 9 p.m. And suddenly everybody is discomforted, right? Nobody wants to go out of their comfort zone, leave away family time in the evening, etc. the way people are going to get convinced to do something that's outside of their comfort zone is if you are able to sell the future really well as to why we are doing this and where will this take this to us. If you look at Barack Obama's, those couple of sentences that he said, it has a very interesting model, a model that I've identified, and I try to test it every time I hear a future story or someone trying to sell the future. So number one, he was specific that when I raise my right hand to become the president, to take the presidential oath. So you're almost transported there, right? You can, imagine him taking
creative visualization. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Second is that it has to be ambitious. Now, he was up against Hillary Clinton, people from the establishment. So nobody really gave him a fighting chance, at least when he started off. But it was really ambitious of a man like him to think that he could go ahead and become the president of the United States. So you need, the future has to be ambitious. So nobody's going to come into office at a different shift time if you're going to tell them that because of this, you will get better pakodas or bhajiyas at the canteen in the evening. Maybe some people will, I don't know, but I'm just saying. And the third part is that, make it visual. He also said that you could imagine, you could look at those, black kids, Hispanic kids who are coming from a lesser privilege and how their horizons will change. You can almost imagine those kids and look at their faces when you're hearing this sentence, right? So that's what a great future story is. It's specific, it's ambitious, and it's also visual. And I think an example of this also happened on Shark Tank when GD Prasad, who runs this company called VS Money, Anupam and Piyush Bansal said, hey, brother, you got to sell the future. And he actually adapted that. And in a Forbes interview later, he said that we want to become the Haldirams of South India. Again, if you look at that, it's specific because when you're saying Haldirams of South India, you understand that very easily. Second, he said, it's also visual because you can imagine those packets of Haldiram on the shelves. And it's also ambitious for a company which started just a couple of years ago to think that they will be able to recreate Haldiram's success in South India in a short span of time is pretty ambitious. So, that's what a future story is made of.
Sachin writes Win with Stories, a newsletter on LinkedIn. It's highly inspiring. I suggest you take a look at it. Where can we reach out to you, Sachin, as well as the Storyco, if we want workshops or we want sessions to be conducted by you?
Thank you, Rishi. Thank you for this. Yes, I write on LinkedIn fairly actively. 5 out of 7 days, I share a business and communication story with tips which people can follow, professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs. And, you just got to look for Sachin Bhandary. So Sachin is easy. Bhandary is Bhandary and not an I. And in my profile, you will also find the link to my newsletter, Wednesday newsletter, Win with Stories. Yes.
Super stuff. I look forward to eagerly welcoming you back next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Rishi. This was fun.
One world, your station.